participant understand that. We are an extension of the state or an extension of government. We work under the National Planning Commission, and we work quite closely with the Ministry of Industries, Mines and Energy, as you would have expected. So we are not a private entity, but we are an extension of government. And we've been tasked with implementing the green hydrogen and derivatives strategy with its associated blueprint on Namibia's green industrialization. So hence we are here driving this stakeholder engagement. By no means are we doing it by ourselves. So I wanted just to highlight that. And then also want to highlight that this is but one of many conversations that need to take place. As you'll have heard from the sentiments raised by His Worship, we need to come up with very concrete suggestions around how we can make an impact with the resources that we're likely to tap into, resources to be provided by the Climate Investment Fund's Industry Decarbonization Program. So to that end, this is actually the first of such engagements, and we found it befitting to have the first engagement here in the Erongo region, more specifically in the Walvis Bay. Your Worship, it was not by mistake, and you said it. I think Walvis Bay is strategically positioned, in Erongo region even more so, in driving green industrialization for the country. We have in the Erongo region about 6 projects that are within the green industrialization space currently, mostly focusing on green hydrogen and its derivatives, the production thereof. This includes high iron, CMB Tech or Cleanergy, that is just not too far from here, Hydrogen de France, Daures, Zero, and Hope Hydro. But what I do want to highlight is that when we ran our call for projects last year, and it closed earlier this year, we were able to identify in excess of about 140 Namibian entities that are doing work within the space of green industrialization. So other than just green hydrogen and green ammonia production, they were looking to see how they can decarbonize the transport industry. They were looking to see how they can produce chemicals. They were looking to see how they could even produce some of the renewable energy hardware locally here in Namibia, which is really, really encouraging. And the idea is for us, together with the support of our transaction advisors that are sitting right here at the front, we'll actually be sifting through, and have already started sifting through all of those proposals received, and then come up with a pipeline of projects that we can then put forth as part of the sectoral transformation and investment plan. Projects that are going to be impactful, projects that are going to ensure that we create opportunities for Namibians so that we can all prosper together. And certainly, what my colleague will be talking to you about is the process that we've actually undertaken, from where we came from to where we are and how we intend to move forward. One thing I want to also leave with you is that our story as Namibia is actually one that is world-renowned. And through the presentation that will be provided, you'll be able to see that. So when we participated in this Climate Investment Fund Industry Decarbonization Program, when we applied last year in January, Namibia came 3rd out of a total of 26 countries. And that is telling, ladies and gentlemen. Coming 3rd out of 26 countries, and we're not talking about competing with small countries here. You're talking about competing with the likes of Brazil, Mexico, Chile, South Africa, international big players whose industries are actually matured and who actually would be the ones likely to receive funding to decarbonize their industries. Countries like India as well. Yet we came 3rd. We came 3rd to Brazil and Mexico. We were 3rd. South Africa was 4th. And I keep, every time I bump into a South African, I tell them, hey, listen, guys, this big brother mentality that you used to have, we are leading in this. And ladies and gentlemen, we are indeed leading in this. And I think it's really for us to come together, as you said, Your Worship, collaboratively, work together. And that's the only way we'll be really able to fully maximize the benefits of it. We have the natural resources in the sun and wind. We have amazing wide open spaces where these projects need to be established. We have a youthful population, which, yes, on the one hand is a burden currently because we have such a high unemployment, but that in itself is also a gold mine to be able to tap into to actually be supported as part of our interventions. So as we engage during the course of today, ladies and gentlemen, look at it from that lens. Let's ask each other the hard questions. Let's engage. And maybe the last thing that I will say, and I started saying before I lost my train of thought, this is the first engagement. We will have a few more engagements. Should there be stakeholders that you believe that we should actually engage that we have not seen, I will lean on your office, Your Worship, to get guidance again for especially this part of the country. Who else do we need to talk to? I've offered to the Honorable Mayor to sit down and talk to him through the journey where we started and all the details. We will also be then having another similar workshop in the south of the country, in Karas. There will also be one big one in Windhoek during the month of May. But in between, we will also have individual engagements just to make sure that we get all the inputs so that our sectoral transformation investment plan is quite comprehensive. But let me pause there, ladies and gentlemen, and I think to take it even a step further, to unpack what I've said and provide more detail, let me then invite my colleague, Nicole Hearn. She's the head of transaction at the Namibia Green Hydrogen Program, to take the podium and talk to us a bit about the vision.